Hey, welcome back to the CannaTech podcast. We're doing our quarterly analyst rotation. We're just talking off camera. Gary, the summer quarter went so quick. It's fall. What happened?
It was a hot one. I think it just kind of flew by on everybody as they were looking at our industry. The kind of the news over the summer was retrenchment. I think retrenchment kind of eclipsed consolidation from the last time we talked. And it's kind of a weird summer.
Yeah.
One of the things I found was I'm actually updating this ebook I wrote over 2 years ago called Why Dispensaries Fail.
Oh, wow.
And anyhow, I think we had something like 4,000 downloads. So it was really good. I thought it was good, but in all honesty, the feedback I've gotten is you wrote it more from the perspective of what to do so that you don't fail versus why do dispensaries fail and others succeed. And I guess I focused on the others succeed. So the rewrite of it is kind of fascinating because I'm going to write it to the title, Why Do Dispensaries Fail? And 2.5 years ago, we didn't have a lot of data because we didn't have a lot of dispensaries failing.
Yeah.
When you look across mature markets, even in Colorado, Oregon, and Washington, we didn't have customers really failing. If they weren't doing well, they sold, but nobody just closed up and gave back their license or canceled their license. It didn't really happen. Now, if we look back over the last 12 to 18 months, unfortunately, I have a lot of data about who failed, where they failed, and because of our kind of offboarding process or exit process, we dig into what happened, trying to understand it. And we've got enough sample size. Again, the word unfortunately, enough sample size to dig in to find out, is it oversaturation? Is it inventory buying and just basically you screwed that up and it came back to bite you? You had to dispose or do a fire sale. And, and nobody ever says, I'm a bad manager. I blew it. Nobody gives that as the reason. But, you can, like, why did the guy across the street, why is he open and why are you closing? Especially when you say there's too many dispensaries. Well, somebody is managing a little bit better than somebody else is.
Yeah, exactly. Is that book available? I'd like to see it. Either you could email it to me, but more importantly, the listeners, is there a public facing page to go grab that book?
Yeah, if you go to Cova, Cova software, okay, there's resources. And then under the resources, there's white papers. This one's a book, so instead of a white paper, it's an ebook.
Yeah.
And then there's blogs, and we've been very prolific about providing information. So it's right there. But that's the old one. The new one, which it'll be out in probably another 3 or 4 weeks, is going to be data driven. So we're going to take all the data of market size, store size, and then relevance, in their market, their city. So we're going to try to put a lot of context into what happened.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm looking. I'll do both. This is a very interesting topic, and it's a coverage area for me with the writing that I do, and so that's pretty cool. Well, hey, quickly, what's news internally? You said you had an integration or a versioning or an update or something with Cova.
No, what we did is we finally added Cova Pay. or an integrated payment
Cova
solution
Pay.
in the US. So we've had integrated payments up in Canada since the day they legalized. But in the US, just because of trying to stay on sides in the payment, in the types of payments that are taken, the method, and then trying to find partners, like a payment processing partner that's got reliability, stability. It's been hard. And I could tell, I could tell stories like, for 3 solid years, I got 3 calls a week that a payment company's got what we need. And for a POS company, or a POS company is the gold mine for a payments company.
Correct.
If you can get us to do your solution. So I just got hammered for year after year with, we figured it out. We're using the Spanish treaty with the Azores in 1432, and we send the money down there and it's all legal. And it's like, dude, that's money laundering. I don't care how you slice it. We're not doing it. Or we're converting it to crypto and then back again. Again, that's not really kosher. So it really, really, I think we're the last big player to even bring it to market. But it's for this reason, that it's just really hard to see who's staying on sides and what the processes are behind the curtain.
Yeah, 2 thoughts. One is, I feel your phone ringing. As an industry analyst, I get a lot of calls from the payment people, and they got the next great thing, and then this is the kicker, Gary, is I'll say, well, okay, fair enough, let's do one of our short little podcasts, and like 2/3 of the time, almost 9 out of 10 times, they don't even show up for the podcast, and I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I don't know if they're flaky. Maybe they've already been shut down.
I don't want to throw stones, but
No, and I'm not naming names.
Yeah, I'm not naming names either, but it's a very, it's a very sketchy piece of our industry. Just because, God, well, I'll tell one quick story. Okay. So when we first started Cova, we got our very first beta customer in Denver. And, it was a friend of a friend who said, yeah, we'll test Cova in the medical side of our dispensary. And I went down there as we were implementing it, and they took Visa and MasterCard. And I said, well, how are you doing that? And it turns out they were running a line from there was a gas station on the corner. He made a deal with the gas station to put a terminal in his dispensary, and he's paying the guy.
He's coded, yeah.
He's paying the guy to let him do it.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, this is how this whole thing works. So then, as we're doing our beta, I think he got away with maybe 5 or 6 months of that scheme. Then the next that got shut down. The next payment processor came in, and they said, well, we're going to call you a nutrition and supplement.
Yeah.
We'll do that SIC code. And that lasted 3 or 4 months. And I learned that the way these things always get shut down is someone gets the bill and they go, I didn't buy $200 worth of supplements. I don't know what this is. And they call Visa and dispute the charge. Yeah. Visa calls the vendor. The vendor answers Gary's dispensary. Done.
Yeah, speaking only for myself, that would have been who I affectionately call Mama Bear. My former wife would have been that person to make that call, right? If she saw an unusual transaction. But hey, Gary, I got to bounce. Next time we talk to you, it's going to be live in the booth at MJ BizCon. You said you're literally booth number 1.
We are. It's like a dream come true that You know, when you're registering and you look through the front entrance, there's Cova right to the right of the entrance. And it's very exciting. You know, when you've been running businesses like this your whole life, it's a dream come true to be at the front door.
Yeah.
So this is finally happening. And then my anticipation is that we're past COVID. I think that this year is going to be a pretty bang up year for the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm committing a lot more time. I mean, terribly long story. I had two shows overlap last year. I caught the back end of MJ BizCon, but I'm there for darn near a week. You know what I mean? I'm committing because I agree with you. It's going to be big. Gary, we'll see you in the booth. I know where to find you.
Sounds good, Harry. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye bye.